All right, today we're going to do something a little different. We're not journeying through outer space, but through inner space, the cosmos of your own mind. We're going to explore the Buddhist map of consciousness, these three realms, and our guide is the fantastic work of Professor Kim Sung-chul.
So let's just dive right in with a question. It sounds simple, but it goes deep. Your body is right here, listening to this. But where is your mind really? Is it totally focused? Is it kind of stressed out? Is it peaceful? You see, in Buddhist thought, the world isn't just what's out there. The world you're actually living in is being created by the state of your mind, moment by moment.
Okay, so here's our game plan for this little journey. We're going to start on the ground floor, in the world we all know and, well, know, the world of desire. Then, we're going to start climbing this incredible ladder of consciousness, moving up through these subtler states of being. We'll look at the ultimate goal, and then we're going to turn that map right back around and look at ourselves.
So how does this whole thing work? Are these three realms actual physical places you can go to? Or are they just metaphors for psychological states? Well, here's the really cool part. The answer is yes, they're both. They're described as literal worlds you can be reborn into. But, and this is the key, they are also states of mind you can be in right now. It's a map of the cosmos, for sure, but it's also a map of you. And this is the core principle that makes it all click. You could be sitting in your room, a human being in the human world, but if your mind is consumed by rage, you are, for all intents and purposes, living in a hell realm. Or if your mind is in a state of deep, calm focus, you could be experiencing a taste of a much, much higher world. Your zip code is one thing, your mental zip code is a whole other story.
So, let's start at ground zero, our home turf, the desire realm. This is our default reality, right? It's the world defined by our five senses, our physical bodies, and those powerful primal urges that drive so much of what we do. It's the world we know best.
Yep, this is us. Professor Kim calls it the world of the flesh and bone body. And that really sums it up, doesn't it? We have a physical form, we have gender, and we're driven by these really basic impulses. We need to eat, we want to procreate. This realm actually covers a huge range, from the worst hells all the way up to some of the lower heavens, but they all share this one thing in common, a body driven by desire.
Okay, time to take the first step up that ladder of consciousness. Imagine, just for a second, a state of mind so clear, so refined, that those coarse, heavy desires for food and sex, they just fall away. They're not an issue anymore. This isn't a world of impulse. It's a world of pure, focused thought. Welcome to the realm of form.
Now, the key to accessing this realm is a state called Seon. You've probably heard it by its Japanese name, Zen. And what's amazing is what the word actually means. Professor Kim breaks it down to its simplest root. It just means to think deeply and deliberately. It's a state of profound, unshakable concentration. And check this out. This isn't some weird alien concept. Think about it. A philosopher like Immanuel Kant, totally absorbed in a complex problem. He's in a state of Seon. A monk, obviously, in deep meditation. But here's a great one. A little kid, before all the hormones kick in, who is completely, 100% lost in playing with a toy. That's Seon. It's said that beings in this realm don't have bodies of flesh and bone. They have bodies made of pure light, just because their minds are that clear. Ready to go even higher? What if, and this is wild, what if even having a body of light felt too clunky, too distracting? What if you could exist as nothing but pure mind? Well, that takes us to the highest, most subtle, most refined state you can be in while still in the cycle, the formless realm.
Up here, there is no form. None. No body, not even a subtle one. It is just consciousness itself abiding in this incredibly deep, peaceful meditative state called samadhi. It's the absolute peak of existence, a peace that's almost unimaginable to us. But, and this is a huge but, it's still not the end of the story.
And this is where the whole thing gets turned on its head. You would think reaching the formless realm, the pinnacle of existence, would be the ultimate goal, right? Nope, because all three of these realms, desire, form, and formless, are still part of the hamster wheel, the cycle of birth and death, Yun-ho. They're all temporary. The real goal isn't to get to the top of the ladder, it's to kick the ladder away entirely.
So you've got two fundamentally different approaches. The first one, the path of cultivation, is how you climb that ladder. You do it by suppressing your desires. You look at the lower realm and think, ugh, that's so coarse, and you push it away to get to a higher one. But because you're just pushing it down, kind of like holding a beach ball underwater, it's going to pop back up eventually. That's why it's called a leaky path. But the Buddhist path, the path of seeing, is totally different. It doesn't suppress anything. It uproots the defilements by seeing reality with absolute clarity. It's the leak-proof path. It's the one that leads to true freedom.
So what's the secret key? What's this great insight that uproots all our suffering? It's the wisdom of dependent origination. And the core idea is actually pretty straightforward. Nothing, and I mean nothing, exists all by itself. Everything comes into being in dependence on other things. Professor Kim gives the perfect example to make this super clear. Okay, imagine you're about to walk into a room and you're expecting it to be pretty small. You open the door and it's actually a bit bigger than you thought. What's the first thought in your head? Wow, this room is big, right? But wait a minute, where did that bigness come from? Was the room inherently big? No. The feeling of bigness only arose in your mind because it was in relation to the idea of a small room you were already holding.
And here's the mind-blowing part. That exact same logic applies to everything we think is real and solid. Up only exists in relation to down. Self only exists in relation to other. And here's the really big one. Death only exists in relation to birth. When you see this deeply, you realize these aren't terrifying fixed things. They are fluid concepts that arise together. And that insight is what cuts the very root of suffering.
So we've climbed this amazing ladder of consciousness, and we've even seen the secret exit door. This brings us to the final destination, and it's time for a little reflection. What is the actual point of all this?
See, the ultimate goal isn't to get a promotion to a fancier heaven in the form realm. It's not about getting a better room in the hotel. The goal is to check out of the hotel, completely. It's to step off the merry-go-round of being born, suffering, dying, and then doing it all over again, which defines life in all the realms, from the very bottom to the very top.
And this final state is called nirvana. The word itself literally means to extinguish or to blow out, like a candle flame. Now I get it, to a mind that's attached to existing, that can sound terrifying, like you just get deleted. But from the Buddhist view, it's the ultimate peace. You're not extinguishing you, you're extinguishing the fires of greed, hatred, and confusion that cause all of our pain in the first place.
But why would anyone want this exit? Because, as the professor points out, the fundamental nature of this cycle is suffering. I mean, think about that fish laying hundreds of eggs, only to see almost all of them get eaten immediately. That constant struggle, that deep-seated anxiety, that's baked into the system. Even our lives, as good as they might be, are filled with impermanence and worry. Nirvana is the final unshakable peace from all of that.
And that brings us right back to the beginning. This whole grand, cosmic map isn't just about some afterlife billions of years from now. It's about this moment, right now. Your mind can be a hungry ghost always wanting more. It can be a god in the form realm totally absorbed in a project. It can be a human full of confusion and potential. So knowing all this, the final question is for you, right now. Which world is your mind actually living in?